Good afternoon, Manchester, New Hampshire, and all the surrounding areas. I have my good buddy here, George Lambert, the Honorable George Lambert, because you're still called the Honorable, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, the Honorable George Lambert, who speaks it and tells it like it is. We are not going to hold punches back. We won't use the four-letter word as much as I'd like to, but we can't. But we're going to tell you how it is, the corruption in this country. Isn't it sad?
Yes, it is.
And George is going to be running for state senate again?
2 years, who knows? Most probably.
Well, my prediction is you're going to.
Most probably I will.
Okay.
Which state? I don't know, but...
Would you agree that New Hampshire has a lot of old-fashioned ideas that they need to change?
Oh, that's tough.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
I think that New Hampshire has a lot of really old great ideas, like preserving liberty and things like that. We have collected some baggage along the way that I would certainly like to see get rid of. More of that is recent in the last 100 years, but yes, there are a great deal of things that we could get rid of.
One of the things I was thinking about, the governor has a term limit, right? He can only run they don't?
They do not.
Oh, I thought they did.
No, there is an expectation that a governor serves 1 to 3 terms, and most of them after three terms bail out.
Yeah. Huh.
And the natural progression, of course, is to run for the U.S. Senate.
Yeah, Aunt Kelly, she was Attorney General, right?
Yes, she was.
She got him when Benson was governor.
I'm not. You know what? I don't remember. But that sounds about right.
If anybody knows, when Kelly Ayotte became Attorney General, I believe it was Benson, and then she turned parties, and she used a platform how she prosecuted a police killer or whatever, and then you got Maggie Hassan using her handicapped child as that plan. What does that prove?
She was a former governor.
Yeah. So she has a handicapped son. There's a lot of people out there that have handicaps. Well, why use the disability of a child to run for office?
Use what you got.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, but when it comes to politics, use what you got.
Would you?
What? Never have.
To me, that's a turnoff.
I run on platforms specifically. I talk about where I am and what I care about. And if people are aligned with me and think that I'm the better candidate, great. If I'm not, that's great too.
Yeah. Ross paid you a high compliment last week, by the way.
What did he say?
He was saying that he called to congratulate you.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
And we were all disappointed. I'm not going to come right out and say that I don't want to get sued for fraud or whatever, for me. But I questioned the ballot counting.
No, the ballot counting was good.
Was it?
Yeah. So when I went to bed,
yeah.
I know election numbers really well, right? And so I win, or I come close to Donna Soucy in most wards in Manchester. Mm-hmm. And then one ward has the exact opposite percentages, mm-hmm. right? So I'm winning by 60-something percent. She's, she's 38, 40%. And so that's opposite of every other ward in Manchester.
Okay.
And my immediate response is, they got the numbers wrong. So I knew.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And in the morning, I had all these people congratulating me, and before the AP had called it, I said, no, the numbers are wrong. And so...
That must have been really disappointing.
No. You do what you can, I think I would have been a great senator.
Oh, I do too.
And if she gets nominated to go and work in the Biden administration, then, it'll be It'll be another Senate race, and let's go. I take on all comers, but if she were to get appointed, I'd be there.
Do you think Biden's going to have an outcome in his favor? If they're honest.
Depends on whether or not I have anything to do with it. And I will tell you after the show.
Yeah, okay. If the politicians or the judges that are running scared would
hold on just a second.
Okay.
I'm going to do something that's incredibly unfair to your audience, okay? But I want to see if you laugh at what I'm going to show you, okay? And I shouldn't do this, but
I'll do it anyway. I said no hot bar. Did you read where I said no hot bar on the show?
Mm-hmm. Now, you cannot read this out loud. You got to promise me.
No, I don't have a glass, but I'll see what it says.
But I promised my wife that I wouldn't get involved in the attempted outcome of the Electoral College debate that's going to happen in D.C.
Yeah. But you're going to be involved.
I know it.
You're breaking your promise to your wife.
I told her that I was going to change my mind. And you just saw that email, right? I mean, that text message, right?
Yeah.
You understand that that's a game changer, don't you?
Well, you need to do that.
I already did it. That's what that text message was. It went to friends in the Senate, federal Senate.
Do you think there should be a term limit on
No.
legislation?
No.
State legislation? Like in Congress?
No.
Do you think that people like Biden for 48 years should be allowed to run?
Yeah.
Really?
As much as I hate it, and I really do hate it, what happens is the administrative departments, right? It's not the people who get elected. It is the people just underneath that control what happens. The Department of Environmental Protection, the Department of State, the Department of Highways, the Department of Education. And so you have your political appointees, right? And then you have a layer of people who manage what they like to call continuity of government. And they last longer than the elected representatives. The longer the representatives are there, the more they have some idea what's going on. But if you flip and you say, okay, it's 2, 4, 6, or 8 years, and that's it, right? Senators are 6 years a term, okay? What happens is they don't even know what's going on in the administrative departments. And so administrative departments become too powerful. Under Trump, they actually reduced the power of administrative departments substantially, okay? And that got government out of the way of business. It wasn't the tax cuts. It was the regulation cuts. The idea that we need less government in the way. It used to take 20 years to get a highway approved, as we know over at the airport, right? You want that ramp off at the airport? Boom. 20 years. They've now reduced that to 2. Okay? You're going to get Biden's people back in. They're going to do everything that they can to extend out the environmental assessment, the water quality assessment, all of these assessments, and you add up the time, and you go back to 20 years of bureaucracy. And then, you figure out the military, in the event of a crisis, can go into a foreign country and put up a bridge in a week.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I'm not the brightest bulb in the Christmas tree, but let's see. Our military can go put up a bridge in a week, and it takes us 20 years to go do it?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
It's called padding the bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get the biggest cut.
Yeah. And most government projects exceed their projected cost by somewhere between 5% and 200%.
And don't they realize it's the taxpayers' dollars that they're throwing away?
They don't care. They don't care.
Nostradamus, and also it's in the. You know what? We forgot one thing.
Go ahead.
Bow your head.
What's that?
Let's do a prayer.
Okay.
You start.
No.
Okay. Heavenly Spirit, we come before you to bless this show and to make this show as honest and outspoken and being kind to others, even though there may be times that we speak, they may not appreciate what we're going to be speaking. Spirit of all life, Spirit of all death, we ask that you just bless this show and let the truth be prevailed, that everyone in this country and around the world will know the joy and peace of all that is being said today and tomorrow and forever. We ask it in your name.
Amen.
You could see I honored you last time. Remember we did that last time.
I did it last time.
Yeah, so
It was
that
your turn.
Oh, well, I did it too. But anyway, it's done. But I'm scared for this country. A lot of it. I have met so many homeless people, and I met one man, Joy, that my heart went out to him, and he says, "Don't feel bad for me." I said, "Okay." He says, "I have a tent. I guess that's some kind of a gas heater or whatever, propane heater." And he said, I'm warm. He has a nice thick sleeping bag and a blanket. And he has a little, camp stove, gas stove. And he was showing me and he has one of those gas lamps. That he showed me the beautiful cane that he was building, making. He said, "I don't want to be in these houses." So when all was crying over the poor homeless people like this man, I shook his hand, and said, "You know what? May you be blessed." Because here's a man that enjoys what he's doing. He has the freedom to come and go. And I don't want to see people have to make that choice.
I don't either.
And that's what I'm scared of.
When we left here, the last time I was on,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you noticed it or not, I stopped to someone in the street, and I said, "A, are you okay? Okay? Are you warm? And, would you like any help looking at options to get off the street?" And that individual said to me, "I missed the time where I needed to be back in the shelter." And I said, "There might be other options. I have a directory of New Hampshire services." And she said, "Nope, not interested."
They don't want to. Ross and I did probably like half of the show, or maybe, on the homeless, and
I don't know, this cushion, I keep sliding off.
Oh, that's good.
I don't want to be on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. But Ross and I were talking about it. I feel badly for the homeless people, especially people that like this time of the year. But like he was saying that I would rather take them to McDonald's if they're out, or take them to get a gas can. If you said you need gas for your car, I'll take you over. I'll pay for the gas, and I'll have a friend of mine take you to where your car is to put it. And Ross and I would continue talking about stuff like that. That they don't want you to do that. They want the money.
Yeah.
And I guess
beer and drugs, baby.
Yeah. It's their choice. That's like when I get hypnotized 8 years ago by Matt in May, and this guy I gave cigarettes to, he wanted to know if I had $2 more. Cigarettes are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
That's what.
Although you think they're expensive here.
No.
Try buying them in New York City at $20 a pack.
Oh yeah, when I can remember, I did a show up in Rochester, New York. It was one of the biggest shows I had, and I was nervous, scared. There was over 250 people. Let me tell you, you're walking on stage. Luckily there was a person before me, and all that, because I would consider the main eventer. But terrified, and I'm sure you are.
You got scared?
Yeah.
How the heck do you get scared of anything?
Because all of the people there, I used to hide behind the refrigerator growing up. Oh yeah, I was very shy growing up, but then all of a sudden I got my mother says I never shut up afterwards, But are you nervous before you go out and before you speak?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But then when the spirit comes over and guides me, I'm all set, But I did it for an hour and a half, and I took another break. They went back. It was the best time. I had this big, tall guy, big Afro-American dude. He opened the, he got me. He said, "Are you Norm?" I go, "Yep." He opened the car door for me. I got in. He went wherever I went. I said, "Why are you following me?" He says, I'm your security for the night. What an awesome feeling that was. You know, here I am, a nobody, at least I feel. And and to see that the way my life has grown, and you too, it's not an easy street.
No.
But you know what? I wouldn't change a thing of it.
No.
Because it makes us who we are today.
It does.
Don't you agree?
I do.
One of
And I don't need a security guard, like, at all. Because you know what? I'm going to walk down the street until I don't.
Yeah. This was up in New York, so I played it. The hotel provided it, so I don't care. But I love walking at 7 o'clock. But today, for some reason, I got a warning, and I don't know what it was. I'll find out, I'm sure, that maybe go back to my home instead of going for my usual walk. Well,
I'm going to drive you home tonight.
Yeah, but I usually take a mile.
You better have a mask or something. Never mind.
Oh, well, I got one right here. Now, okay, is this how we wear it this way?
You know what? I was thinking about it. I can't say that.
Chicken.
Nope.
Why? Get in trouble? I'm always in trouble.
I know.
Is that how we wear them?
Oh, well, you should try it over your head with, some of those.
Oh, See, that's what I love about our show here. We can, as long as we're not slamming somebody,
Have you ever known me to slam someone?
Yep.
Honestly, on your show?
Without facts? No.
I just tell the truth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You ever heard me say something that wasn't true or that could be interpreted as an exaggeration?
No. And this is what I like about our show. We're very good about being honest.
Yeah.
Whether people agree with me or not, that's their choice. Mm-hmm. I am an old diehard Republican. I started out thinking the Democratic way, and I go, wait a minute, my foster dad was an old-fashioned, and my dad was old-fashioned. Why can't I follow the same thing? And I see it now. My son is a conservative, which is cool. Mm. And I'm at the point where I'm not sure if I want to be a Republican or Democrat the way that both parties, they hate each other.
They do. Although I have to say, I did switch to Democrat for a little while. Mm-hmm. I did believe that the Republicans took it a little too far when they got into the private business of Bill Clinton in the White House.
Yeah. Yeah, but what he did.
I think that issue was between him, his wife, and his associate.
Yeah, but then his wife, isn't she the one that brought it out into the open?
No, absolutely not.
She leaked it out.
I don't think she did. She had no business. It didn't help her power or influence to do that.
I really don't care what they do in their personal life.
Exactly. I want to know he governs well.
As long as it doesn't affect the country. Mm-hmm. I think it's ridiculous when Joe Biden come and say that the kids like the hair on his legs, which doesn't make any sense. And I don't like the way he keeps patting down young girls on the head and stuff.
Oh, I have a video clip. I have a video montage of that. It's scary.
Yeah.
Although, you know what's funny? Newt Gingrich was the Speaker of the House.
Right.
When he prosecuted Bill Clinton, and Newt Gingrich was living with his live-in girlfriend.
Right.
In Washington, D.C.
Double hypocrite.
Absolutely. And got divorced from his first wife to marry the girlfriend he was living with in D.C.
Yeah. Are they still married?
The girlfriend or the wife?
No, well, either one. The girlfriend.
I believe so, but yeah.
Well,
it's Washington politics, right? And I'll tell you, it's as dirty and muddy and ugly as it gets.
And I find interesting is the dirtier, the smearing, or the dirtier like Clinton was, or Hillary and Joe Biden, or whomever, the worse reputation they have, the more chance they have of winning.
Yeah. Well, it's the more press time they get.
Yeah.
Press time breeds name recognition. Name recognition brings votes.
Yeah. How many people actually go down through the list to vote, or did they say clap? Republican.
I did a little test.
Did you?
I did. I started asking people to name the people that they voted for down the ticket. How far can you go? Can you get to dog catcher? Right? You start at the top. How far down can you go remembering who you voted for? And I'll tell you, most people can't remember down to state senate.
No.
Never mind down to state rep. Never mind down to all of the little local offices.
Yeah.
They just can't remember.
Half the names that are on there, I don't remember who they are. I've never heard of them.
What's that?
Half the members that are on the ballot,
Yeah.
like running for tax collector or running for, like you said, dog. Matt and I were going to run for federal dog catcher, you know.
Federal dog catcher.
Yeah. People believe in it.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, we were. He was going to be the dog catcher, and I was going to be the assistant. We wanted red carpeting. We wanted the limo to pick us up and all that, you know. And it's amazing what people will listen to.
You know, I would actually like to run in Litchfield for constable.
For what?
Constable.
What's a cop?
Constable deals with is the alternative, the people's alternative to the police.
Oh, I didn't know we had that.
We actually, in New Hampshire legislature, have it. And if the people in the community decide that they're going to vote for one, and one gets elected, you have one. But we've taken it off the ballot and never registered it on the ballot in most communities in the state.
I never knew it. See?
You should look it up.
I will. But, you know, and the biggest problem I have is how did Joe Biden win the state of New Hampshire when Sununu won?
I've done the math on that. And I don't know. I know that Sununu was going to be Joe Biden, 100%. And I was regrettably confident that it was going to be a close race between Trump and Biden in New Hampshire. And so there's this thing called coattails, right? And so as someone wins, people tend to vote down the ballot on the even when they switch columns, right? Yeah. So when you get down to governor and you switch, okay, you tend to vote down the ballot from where you started.
Right.
But so you got Biden, who's getting the benefit of Maggie Hassan, okay, or was it Jean Shaheen this time? Right?
And the one up in up north there, what's her name? Custer.
There's Custer and Carol Shea Porter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. And I don't know. It's just
I refuse to vote straight. I really do. I refuse to vote straight.
Now you're sounding like gay, now you sound like my daughter. Oh my God. She refuses to drive straight down the road, but she will drive forward.
Well, that's good. I never say, yeah. You know, folks, I say this all the time. When people live on these roads, they go, well, you're going to take it, go here. I go, no. You never say drive forward. Always, drive straight.
Yeah, you always drive forward.
That's right. I learned that from an old Indian friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But the one thing that I'm scared of, like with your daughter doing the fire eating, I wouldn't want to see her right to do that to be taken away.
Right. Well, so the difference, in my opinion, between Republicans and Democrats, and I'm sorry to say this, is that the Democrats think they're smarter than you about how you should live your life. Okay? Like, they want to put in rules because they don't think that you can figure out how to live safely. And there's examples of that as you go around between what I'm going to call red states and blue states, right? In red states, you have a choice, and in blue states, you're told what to do.
Yeah.
So you can't have, in some states, a Christmas party now, okay? Yeah. Unless it's outdoors, unless it's limited to 2 hours, and you're not allowed to go to the bathroom more than once.
Okay.
Okay.
One of a funeral, and everybody brings something to set up. I told my son that, and I told everybody I know that.
You were allowed 10 people at a funeral. So we actually on Facebook announced that we were having a funeral for our pet turkey, who was whose death was going to occur on Thanksgiving. In lieu of flowers, please bring appetizers and desserts.
Yeah, I did that. I guess that's what we did too. Because how was your Thanksgiving, by the way?
It was wonderful. Yeah. We actually we totally broke the social norms and the laws, and I think we had 26 people.
Oh my! And you all wore masks.
What? We wore what?
Well, you know what they call masks.
Well, actually, the governor of the state actually has put in a provision for not wearing masks. So we actually had the little cards that say that we are prohibited from wearing masks, and we handed them out so that everyone had the disclaimer. Yeah. I almost brought you one today.
You should have.
Okay. Next time.
Yeah.
Next
time.
You're
coming back on June 20th.
January 20th.
January 20th.
Yeah, we have.
On the 21st or whatever.
No, 20th, I think it is. We have a swearing in of a president. Yeah. I will tell you that at 12:01 on January 20th, I will have a new president. I don't know who that's going to be yet. We all think we know who it's going to be. I mean, my side thinks they know who it's going to be, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, my spirit guides are telling me.
But whoever is sworn in as a president on January 20th at 12 o'clock, at 12:01, whoever that is my president. Yeah.
Well, I think Mike Pence is going to have a lot to do with it.
He has an enormous amount of influence on that process.
And you know the one I always found interesting, like with Biden or like Pence or like all the other vice presidents, you don't hear a lot about them.
Well, that's almost true unless they argue about what was it, broccoli?
Right.
My kids don't even understand that joke. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Vice President goes out and complains he doesn't like broccoli in like one of the states that grows broccing, and that makes national news.
That.
No.
You know.
That was what, Mondale?
Yeah. One of the things we got, no matter, I don't have to like the president if Biden wins, for instance. I will respect the office.
Yes, me too.
I will honor the office.
Unless he kneels.
No,
if he
kneels, then I lose.
If he kneels, he is giving it up, baby.
Yeah, and I can't respect that.
No.
I don't have to like him. I don't have to respect him, but I do have to respect the office.
Uh-huh.
Say when, what's her name? Kamala Spreadleg Harris?
I'm sorry. I'm just not even going to answer that. I did have some woman legislator to me say, if I knew that all I had to do was, do all of my work on my back, then maybe I'd be vice president. But
I understand that Joyce Craig may not be running for mayor again.
Really? I love an open seat.
I'm sorry?
I love an open seat. Mm-hmm. An open seat is a whole new ballgame.
I want to see Victoria win. Victoria Sullivan, I want to see her win. I think she'll make a darn good.
You know who else I would think would be great? And he won't listen to me, but he would be great.
Who's that?
Will Enmatine.
Oh, I think he would make a fantastic man.
That guy seems to be really sharp.
And I think he would be a fantastic alderman.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I have a lot of respect for Will.
Yeah. Although, you know who I don't see as being mayor? And I think he's a much better alderman than he is mayor?
Joe.
Because that guy's a bomb thrower like there is none other.
And
would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
You can't do that as mayor.
No. And the one thing that I got to say with Glenn, even though he'll never win, Glenn Argiola, I give him credit for running year after year, term after term. Mm-hmm. I would be scared if he won.
Well, I'm sure he is more competent than some of the previous mayors we've had.
Oh, I'm sure, but still, But I'll vote for him, because he has the courage. Mm-hmm. And I also voted for Mary, May.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not. I'm thinking about either running for state rep or alderman. I'm not sure yet.
I think you should run for state rep.
Yeah, but I have more fun here.
You can do both.
And
No,
mine isn't like no. Yeah, Gary Hopper does.
Yeah.
The Honorable Gary. Honorable.
no, actually, Representative Gary Hopper, he didn't win.
Oh, he's one.
Right. If he's currently sitting, then he is representative. See, what happens
they
is
don't call him honorable.
you become honorable when you're done,
Oh,
unless you're a senator. And then you're senator for the rest of your life, just like you're the governor for the rest of your life.
you know that's like I found interesting when Lynch was running for governor. And I invited him to come on the show. Oh yeah, I'll be right up. I'll be right up.
Never.
I'm still
never
waiting
happened.
for
Right.
him.
Uh-huh.
You know, and a lot of the other political people who were running. Oh yeah, well, they gave me their car and they don't respond back. And, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a newspaper called Liberty. I met him out when we were campaigning for Trump when the voting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I actually invited him to come on my show. Oh yeah. So I emailed him and invited him to come on. Another one I haven't heard from. Don't tell if you don't want to come on. That's fine. I don't care. If you don't like what I'm saying, then change the channel. Very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're the same way.
Well, I'll tell you why I come on, other than the fact that I like you.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Is because we have real neighborhood conversation.
We really do. Yeah.
Right? This is the kind of conversation you would actually have with somebody in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right? Just so happens that it's on video and it's, rebroadcasted.
Yeah.
But, we're just real people.
That's what I don't want to be anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be something that I'm not.
I don't dress up in a suit and tie and play the whole game and look like the boss.
Well, I don't dress in drag anymore.
You don't?
No.
I don't remember ever seeing you dressed in drag on the show.
Oh, the last time I did that, my wig fell off.
Oh, my God.
My boob fell out and my heel broke.
You had a wardrobe malfunction in
Yes,
3
I
places at the
did.
same time?
I'm sorry?
You had
I was like, what's her name that did the halftime there?
Oh.
That malfunction there? Yes, I did. And I said, never, ever again.
Uh-huh.
And then besides that, a friend of mine told me I looked too ugly. And he was right. But, I have no regrets for my life.
I don't have any either.
No. Because we wouldn't be where we are today.
That's right.
I do not and will never hate anyone. I may not like what they do.
I have 3 people on my list. I can't get over it. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I have lived a long time. I'm in my 50s. And if my list is only 3 people long, I'd have to say that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm unforgiving for 3 people.
Yeah. Well, I've been learning how
and
to
only one of them is in the state.
Oh.
Last time I knew, one of them was in Russian jail.
Oh. Your dad is very proud of you, by the way.
Really?
Yes. He may not agree with a lot of things that you do.
No, probably not.
He's an old-fashioned minister, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was he Pentecostal?
He was.
Uh-huh. Okay. And he believed in what he taught.
Yep.
See, the one thing about your dad is I'm looking at him, he's singing Praise the Lord, actually, and it's that he was not a hypocrite of what he believed in.
Most of the time.
But I got to tell you, he may not, like I said, he may not agree with your lifestyle or whatever it may be.
Yeah, well, he should just be honest about such things, and life would be better.
He's learning in his own spiritual way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now he's passed, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Has your mother also passed?
Yes.
Now they're together.
Yes.
Even though there's a lot of disagreements.
I would say that's true.
Okay.
They actually were married, and they lived in separate states and vacationed together.
Yeah. Well,
they got along better vacationing together for, about 12 out of 14 days.
Yeah.
And then they went back to their respective states.
Yeah. Well, I have some friends of mine, people that I knew in Laconia.
Uh-huh.
They could not live together.
Mm-hmm.
But like you just said, and they both had mansions. Uh-huh. In fact, she was had one on the national. I mean, she was one of the founders on the the American Humane Society.
Mm-hmm.
And if she knew what was going on today, she would be all upset with it. You know, but that's okay. When they used to meet each other, they'd go, "Good morning, Mr. Swift. Good morning, Mr. Swift." He owned the Swift Meeting Company.
Wow.
You know, and then I know a couple who loved each other dearly, but they were allergic to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that happens.
It does.
You know,
my parents used to talk on the phone, aside from the week after vacations, of course.
Yeah.
They would talk on the phone every single night.
Yeah. Having trouble with the Facebook, Scott?
Yep.
Okay. Folks, we're having trouble with Facebook, so I apologize. It's not being shown now, but we will download the show later. Maybe the spirit of putting the chicks on our phone. You know. Yeah. But,
Oh, I am going to be so censored, you have no idea.
what did he say?
I was saying that I'm going to be censored.
Oh. Why?
Not necessarily today,
Oh.
but, you know.
But that's who we are.
Mm-hmm. As I said, when they decide to come for the conservatives. Do you want to hear something really funny? Have I been on your show since I lost? I mean, since I won?
Yeah. Since you won?
Since I won and lost my
Oh,
election.
yeah.
Did I tell you somebody put a big knife in my front yard when they thought I won the Senate race?
Really?
Yeah. Slammed it right in so it was sticking right out. Yep.
Then what does that prove?
What's that?
What does that prove? You know?
It proved that we needed more 223. And we have plenty. And now I want to change my hat that says "Bring it."
Well, I've had a couple of signs toward in front of my house. And because I live in an apartment building, I will not put any more Trump signs out there because I don't want the people that live in the building to get hurt because of what I believe in.
Sure.
You know, and you got to think of the other people. And I don't have time for name calling.
Who does?
You know, and I don't know what people prove by name calling. Call me, you know. I am who I am. I'm not going to change my ways. You're not going to change your ways. I'm a dirty old man, but I work very hard to get that reputation. My son says he's in training.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. But I enjoy being who I am.
Me too.
You know?
And we get along. I mean,
Of course.
I'm a respectful, dirty old man. I just complain about
I work
everybody.
very hard. Don't you work hard for that reputation?
Absolutely.
You know, and I kid around. When I do my readings, a lot of times I kid around when the people when they come in the office.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I do it so that they can relax.
Mm-hmm.
No, you know. By the way, if anybody wants to need my email is secondvisionbynorm@comcast.net. My phone number is area code 603-289-4789, and Scott is 603-785. 1684, or they can text us or whatever, and we'll get back. Or you can on Facebook. You can Norman Moody, or you can go to Second Visions by Norm and Comcast.net. If they want to get a hold of you, is it pretty easy?
It's very easy. I'm Marchon, Marchon @gmail.com, and I am Facebook.com/podjacker.
Okay. I'm learning how to do the Zoom, so don't be sure I call you on Zoom and say, hey, let's talk politics.
Oh, absolutely. We could do this show over Zoom, you know.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to...
we could do it a couple times a week and then put it up. We don't even have to sit here.
No. But I like coming here.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
although I see you occasionally putting up a video from, what is it, your living room?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
My office, yeah.
Yeah, but you lean down all the time.
Yeah. So I got to try to set up straight.
Yeah. With a little video camera.
Maybe I'll get one of those. No, but I'm learning how to do a lot more with it, you know. I'm going on Zoom because this way I can pick up business and, you know. What is a podcast? Do you have that?
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I don't do one, but I listen. I was actually the 37th podcaster in the world.
I'm sorry?
I was the 37th podcaster in the world.
Really?
Yep.
Now, how do you get to that? Do you have to go on podcast.com and
Nope. You just actually go and record a show. and you put it up on the web, and then you hook it up to an RSS feed, and then you point iTunes to your show, and maybe some people find it, maybe they won't.
I have a new show called My Opinion, My Norm.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that one will get almost no downloads because nobody cares about your opinion. Anyway.
No, I know. It's on YouTube, you know. I'm waiting for it to get
Nobody cares about my opinion.
No, that's what's fun about it. At least we can express it.
Oh, sure.
And that's what I like about this country.
Uh-huh.
And it always leads up to some, freedom of speech. And the thing that bothers me, actually, Facebook owner controls our freedom of speech.
Yes, they do. Enjoy it while you think you've got
Absolutely, folks. Have you been kicked off of Facebook?
Multiple times.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
And Twitter.
Yeah. You know. And
Twitter kicked me off for 3 months because of a tweet I made a year and a half ago. I'm serious.
Yeah. Oh, no, I believe it.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a Salty Cracker? He's always getting kicked off of YouTube.
No.
Okay. He is great. He talks about what's going on and makes fun of Biden and Harris and all that stuff. But he does it, and it's really good stuff. You know, he makes it in a comedy form, and they literally. Then I watch Pate Trump, but Pate the Trump, you know, and it has that when they're protesting and all that, the rally. But then I watch what's it called?
Right Side Broadcasting?
Yeah, the Right Side Broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really, really awesome. I would encourage people to watch because they tell it like it is. It's all donation controlled. And
did you see the videos from the last, not the most recent, but the last large march on Washington?
Yeah.
And how some people got beat up?
Yeah.
Did you see the guy who got beaten up with his own flag? That was actually my friend.
Really?
Yep. And he was at my house. He took my son-in-law to that protest. And the next day, he was in our house having his head bandage replaced. That's how close I was to that situation. And got some feedback from him. And he's like, look, I was holding an American flag. I mean, how American can you be? And they told him to put it away. And he said no. And then they said, what did you think would happen when they took his flag and they beat him with it?
And what did that prove?
To whom? He got 4.5 million views on YouTube.
Well, I mean, he should be considered a martyr.
Yeah. Well, he isn't dead, so you know.
But you know what I'm saying. Well, why can't we have my martyrs? You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that I find interesting is they don't. If you don't agree with them, they're going to beat the hell out of you.
I have a friend of mine who's a real constitutionalist who is currently in South Carolina, and he said, I'm not sure that if things continue going the way that they're going, I'll be able to come back in the spring. He said, at the rate we're going, we are going to be so divided that we will be on the verge of two countries. And that's pretty much true.
Right. Well, look what Texas is doing.
You know what? I started looking at Texas real estate the other day. I'm sorry to say.
I give them credit.
You know what they're calling it now? Texit.
Oh, okay. Well, what happens, though, if they break away from this, okay?
Their Constitution actually reserved the right to do that. Yeah. So did the New Hampshire Constitution, by the way.
Yeah, we do, too, yeah. Well, what happened to the federal fundings?
Why do they need it? When you get rid of the federal regulation, I mean, that is tied to all the dollars, why do you need it?
They shut it down, Scott. If that's it, I think the state should take more control. I don't care what state it is, but I think the state should take more control of our state and not allowing the government to control, the federal government to control it. Like all of a sudden they got this vaccine for the COVID virus 19. This, as far as I'm concerned, this has been in the works for many, many years. It's amazing how this virus shot is automatically coming into play. You know what I'm saying?
So I was going to get it. I was, 3 months ago, I'm like, yeah, I need to do it. And now I'm like, nope,
I'm not going to put some foreign object in my body.
nope.
I refuse the flu shots.
I have been refusing flu shots for years. My doctor said to me earlier this year, and I fell for it. He said, I know you have never taken a vaccine in all the time I've been your doctor, but I beg you to take the flu vaccine in the spring. And I said that I respect you. I respect everything you ever said to me. So I'll take it, and I'll take the one in the fall. So I'm going to get my flu shot, but I will not take the COVID-19 virus. COVID-19 vaccine.
Right. The last time I took the flu shot, I was never so sick as I was then. So when I hear about this, like my son has a lot of issues going on medically, and you do as well.
I do.
And Scott does as well. I really consider myself really blessed. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I have the biggest problem I have, which I'm overcoming, is the diabetes
Oh, okay.
and my mental problem. I guess
I was going to ask about that one. I
yeah.
can't believe you were going to skip that one. But
Oh
yeah.
no, I can't do that because Scott has to put up with me. And why I don't know, but he does. One of the things I'm looking at with your daughter that's in college, I'm going to tell you, she's going to be either in Congress or the Senate.
I sure hope so. But the problem is she swung so far left that, as long as she stays in Maine, she'll get elected.
Yeah, and she'll get a wake up call.
Well, we hope.
Well, it's up to her. Like my granddaughter is in college, and of course they're all Biden and all that other stuff. So all we can do is just pray for them. She'll try to get my son going and me going on and say, believe in whoever you want to believe in. I don't care if you believe in that bottle over there. Just believe in something. That's like we were taught at AA. Oh, I can't go to AA because I still smoke, And I think they're a bunch of hypocrites anyways. See, the one thing I know about alcoholism is, oh, I had a slip, or I did that. No, you knew what you were doing when you went out there. But I was at one meeting, the guy says, only the women wear slips. I said, well, I left mine at home. He didn't have a sense of humor, And it's true, though, because when you're going out, I went out every 3 months, just like clockwork. On the 5th of every third month, I would go out and I'd have 3 drinks.
Okay.
Then it started increasing and increasing. Then I started drinking cheap beer. And when I started drinking cheap beer, then I said there's something. And plus my son gave an alternative.
I have to admit, I'm not a person who drinks alcohol very often.
No.
But after the Supreme Court decision the other night, yep, I had a shot of whiskey.
What was that decision?
Friday night. And then on Saturday night, I had another shot of whiskey to put me to sleep.
I hope it was good whiskey.
It was very good whiskey, actually.
Which decision was that?
So Texas and 19 other states went out and argued that their voters were disenfranchised when the other states, Pennsylvania and company, did not follow the election rules as specified by their legislatures and had executive departments overrule the legislative rule. Which they're not supposed to do. The Supreme Court declined to actually get involved in that argument because, regardless of why, it would have resolved many election problems for us for decades to come. 22 states were on the opposite side. 19 states plus Texas were on the other side. We had 42 states that got involved, which means that a majority of the country was watching and interested.
Yeah.
And New Hampshire was not one of them. But, getting clarity on how elections should run seems like it would be a useful thing to do. Whether or not it came out my side or not, clarity matters.
Yeah, it does. You know, I'm actually looking at more and more people are getting involved in the political realm.
Oh, yes.
My son, who I never ever suspected to get into the political
Oh,
field.
dude,
He's into it.
I'm totally in favor of cheating now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, cheating's okay. The punishment for cheating is so much less than the reward for getting elected.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
The worse criminal you are, the better chance you have of winning.
You don't even have to, it's not even a criminal offense.
No.
It's a fine.
Yeah. And, I look at these people that...
I mean, I could tell you that there are stories where people in Manchester, in alderman elections, have actually been brought before the State Election Commission for election malfeasance and been prohibited from participating in election counting as selectmen. Now, I'm not going to tell you the last name of any of the people who were involved in that, but I could let you guess, and I might confirm one of those last names for you after the show.
Right. Isn't it sad? Well, I often wonder when my foster dad was a state rep from New London, New Hampshire. I'm talking 50 years ago. Going, and he used to come. I knew he was. Shall we say, being bought. And can I see me? He turned the check over and go, whoa, what bought you today? For some reason, he got mad. Yeah.
What's that?
In other words, if you go my way, like the commissioner or whatever, they pay a lot of these people that when you call them go in there and try to lobbyists, they pay big bucks for somebody to go their way.
So lobbyists make big money, but they can't make political contributions to a member of the Senate or a member of the House in excess of $1,000 to their campaign fund.
I keep trying to remember what was the name of that movie where they I can't remember if it was Eddie Murphy or when he played the state. He got elected. Do you remember that movie?
I do indeed.
Yeah.
That movie was The Distinguished Gentleman.
That's it. I gotta remember. I gotta look that one up.
I
love that movie.
He said, I have committed more crimes in Washington, D.C. that are legal than I ever did in Florida that were illegal.
He was a con artist.
Right. Well, and he straightened up because what he realized is that the cons he was playing in D.C. were actually hurting people.
Yeah. Was that a true story?
No.
No.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Although
you never know.
Well, it's got a whole lot of things that I have seen indications of along the way.
I bet as a state rep, the thing that you saw, you could probably write a book on.
Actually, as a selectman, I got to participate in a lot of what you would call closed-door private meetings that were called non-public.
Right.
And there's a rule in New Hampshire that if you put something into a non-public session, the minutes of that non-public session become public as soon as the need for the non-public rationale goes away. You follow me? I'm the first selectman that I know of, certainly in Litchfield, maybe in the state, who went out and said, okay, we need to review all of the records for non-public that need to be released. I want them all. I want them put in front of the board, and I want a board member to remove any that they think need to stay non-public. So we had a big stack, and so everyone goes through the stack, and they pull out the ones they think need to be preserved, and we released all the others.
See, I don't believe in non-public meetings.
I don't either. So I actually started writing a book with actual minutes of non-public sessions called Life in Non-Public, where I actually used the minutes of non-public meetings.
You got to fix the camera a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But it's true, 'cause I don't understand why they have to have. If somebody can enlighten me, I mean,
I can
give us a
enlighten
call.
I can
Well, somebody from here will enlighten us as well. Why is it so important to have a big dinner? Who pays for the lunch that you guys have in a non-public meeting, if they have lunch?
So we don't have lunches in a non-public meeting. Just doesn't happen.
Well, what are you talking about?
We have this rule in the state, which is called RSA 91A, which is the public's right to know. But in a non-public meeting, you talk about people's reputation or departments' reputations, or if they've been accused of XYZ, or there's potential malfeasance. So either that, or you have a conversation with your lawyers about a way in which you are going to approach a certain legal strategy. Those are some of the reasons for a non-public session. So you protect the employees against being discredited incorrectly. For example, if there's an ethics question or whatever, you will never know, other than that person will be given the opportunity to resign or be dismissed.
Well, that's like, what do you think about Barr? You said something a long time ago that they're going to catch up with him.
Yep.
And are you sure you're not psychic?
I don't know.
But look what's happening. And isn't it interesting that he resigned?
Well, I don't know which way that's going to go.
Hopefully in the Republican favor.
Well, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If he stayed in office and President Trump didn't manage to stay, okay, he would be out very quickly. Would you agree?
No.
Yeah, he would, because the Democrats aren't going to keep him.
I'll tell you, well, possible because he turned on us.
Nope.
No.
But he could be appointed a special counsel that no one could get rid of.
Yeah, that's true.
He's now resigned. He wrote a glowing recommendation for Trump, and now he can be assigned in charge of a special counsel to go after problems in the Justice Department, to go after problems all over the place.
You think that's what he's going to do?
I'm not sure, but if I was a betting man.
You are a betting man.
I am a betting man.
Thank you.
So I'd say the odds are 33-66.
Yeah.
That's what happens, and we'll know more. They'll approach 45-65 towards the middle of January, and by January 15th, we'll know for sure.
I was listening to the Biden, did you listen to his 15? I laughed. I couldn't handle it all.
I mean, he just said, he said something I couldn't imagine a Democrat said. You know what he said? He said, we're going to follow the Constitution. Like, this is the first time in, my history I've heard Democrats, since over the last 2 years, the Democrats have mentioned the Constitution more than in my entire lifetime. I mean, they only use it against.
Yeah. Well, and the sad part is, just like the Republicans, there are a lot of good Democrats who believe in what they're doing, but but they don't know what's what. Just like the Republicans, there is evil on both sides.
Oh, I agree.
Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the only difference is we don't name call.
Yes, we do.
You do?
Oh, you and I?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't, but Republicans in general do.
Yeah. Not like that. If they're not right, when you agree that they don't. I mean, like with the Democrats, if I don't say something of course, I enjoy getting slammed.
Yeah.
Just like you do.
I do.
I
So,
wonder if
do you
we were
remember-
brothers in our past life.
So, do you remember Jennifer Horn? She was the
yeah.
right.
Well,
and
she's
so,
not well liked at all.
well, right now
turncoat.
she is a co-founder of the Liberty Project, Lincoln Project,
Uh-huh.
which is about as democratic as you can get. Former Republicans who are actually behaving like Democrats. And I actually came up with this slogan. I was on Granite Rock when they were on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually went out and said on the radio, I said, J-Ho must go. She was the worst Republican chairman. Apparently she didn't like being called J-Ho, by the way.
I wonder why.
Jennifer Horn.
Yeah.
I was just abbreviating.
That's all. Not called names.
No, I was just abbreviating. I said J-Ho must go. Because that's like a really, it's a slogan,
Yeah.
right? And she didn't like it. But, you know, she's gone out and shown her real stripes. She's about power. She's about money. And she's
She
about
moved to
getting her
Maine?
way. What's that?
Did she move to Maine?
I don't believe so.
Oh, I thought-
But, you know, she ran Mitt Romney's bid against Donald Trump.
Yeah. How is Mitt Romney having a bill? Is he a senator from
Utah.
Utah? He is a senator from Utah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't think he won.
Oh, he did. You know, actually...
Talk about somebody playing the fence.
Well, actually, you know, he is the classic definition of a rhino, Republican in name only. Susan Collins isn't much better, but, you know, I'll take her over an actual Democrat any day.
Nobody was like Rockefeller.
What's that?
Rockefeller? He ran for governor and then he ran for president.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Rockefeller. You don't know who Rockefeller was?
I know who he was. I
Yeah.
just didn't realize that he ran for president.
Oh, yeah. But, and I also liked, the ones that actually, I like Ross Perot.
So did I. I was told that voting for Ross Perot was wasting my vote. And I said, if voting for Ross Perot is wasting my vote, so what? And I cast the ballot.
He admitted to how much he paid in taxes because of the loopholes,
Yeah.
like Donald Trump.
You know
You
what?
know?
The IRS says, and this is right on their website,
Yeah.
they said it is your obligation to pay as much in the way of taxes as you're responsible for, but not a penny more, and get a good accountant and take all of your deductions. That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Did you know there's a smoking room in the State House?
No.
If you go down into the Legislative Office building, down into the basement, you will find that there's a smoking room. It's one of the only places indoors in the state where you can actually go in and smoke. Okay? You know why that is?
Because too many people smoke.
No. It's because those who set the rules set their own exceptions.
Of course.
And that's why there are all of these loopholes in the tax code in D.C. They actually go out and help justify the people who are the donors to political campaigns.
By the way, John's going to be back on when you come on again.
Okay.
Okay. Both of them, we talk about you after we leave.
Uh-oh.
That's what I said, too. That's what I said, too. We thought about maybe taking you and drag your tire feather you.
Okay.
But you might like the pain.
Might. You probably...
Well, so if you have any questions
you
for
probably don't
my
wanna
friend
know.
George Lambert, don't hesitate to give us a call. He's more than willing to talk to you. You can either agree with him or disagree with him. Say with
Please
me.
call and disagree.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh?
Please call and disagree.
Yeah.
I love listening to the opposition.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know
as
I
long
do.
as they make and they don't discredit somebody using names that are gonna, I will not.
No name calling.
Mary and I both agree on that. Be respectful whether you like them or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna slam them, then don't call my show, unless you can prove whatever you're gonna say.
You mean I shouldn't have made the J-Ho comment?
Oh no, that's different. No, I mean Joyce Lambert was out on the street corner selling drugs or whatever. Did you know that? Or blah blah blah. That's what I'm talking about. If they're gonna say something they can't prove,
I have no charges against me that have been past the statute, that are not past the statute of limitations.
Me too.
I couldn't resist that one.
I can remember one time when we were sitting at a friend of mine was visiting some people in the prison at the Coffee State Prison. And I couldn't go in because I had had too much to drink to begin with. And I sat behind the wheel and we spoke to Jay and had another meeting and drove home. How I did it. That's why I know that there were angels over there. But many times I should have got caught.
Well, there's if you drove home, there's a whole lot of stupid over there.
Now I was very stupid.
Because you can't do that, man.
Nope.
You end up dead.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
might end up
that's it.
killing someone else.
Yeah, that's it.
And
you
that's
know,
worse.
so,
I
yeah.
mean, like, if you live and they die,
I couldn't handle it.
I
you
couldn't
know.
either.
And that's why I know there was somebody up there keeping me safe and letting me get home. And it was a long drive from 106 to Laconia. How I made it, and that's why I said the grace of the angels. You know. And my biggest thing was when I lost everything, now I have more than I ever had.
Well, I will tell you that I have a strict rule, which is one sip of alcohol and I give up my keys.
Yeah, and that's good.
Because, you know, the difference between one sip, one glass, and totally intoxicated is something that your brain cannot logically measure.
Right. So I think, you know, I think a lot of times, I know a lot of us do, I'd like to have a drink. You know, I really would.
I don't
But
think
then
I've had
I
it.
think.
I don't think I've had a drink in 4 years until last weekend.
There you go. And then I look at it and I say, wait a minute. I got a great life here. I don't need that false courage anymore. I have enough courage on my own to mouth off if I want to.
Oh, sure.
And that's what's fun about I think you and I were brothers in or knew each other in our past life.
Well, I think we were comedians together, probably.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
You know? And then the only thing is we don't make money out of it, you know, but that's okay. You know, that's another thing I don't understand how these actors and actresses are slamming Trump. Because the number one, he owned a lot of hotels, right?
Sure, and they're not going to be, you know, they're not getting an acting gig or a comedian gig after this. Let me tell you.
How many of them actually started in one of Trump's
And they loved
hotels?
him.
Yeah. And how, you know, like, how many of them, like Joe Biden and how she slammed Trump like there is no tomorrow. And how many, I don't think she's that good of a comedian, but that's my own opinion, you know. But how many of the actors like that, who like Robert De Niro, who F Trump, he said, you know, how many of them actually started out in one of Trump's hotels?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? And this is how they pay him back.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think that one should impact the other.
No.
Because, you know, good political discourse is about issues. Now, I have a question, okay? And this one's either going to be really hard or really easy for you to answer. But you've been around for a lot of presidential campaigns,
Well,
right?
yeah.
How many presidential campaigns have you listened to and had somebody say, if I'm elected, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z?
Oh.
And then had them check off, if they got elected, boxes that say most of them, if not all of them, are done. Right? I mean, like the guy or hate the guy, he told you what he intended to do, and then he showed up and he did it.
Yeah. Not that many, but yet, you know. But you know what?
Name one.
No.
Name one who's done a better job than Trump in terms of saying, this is what
Kennedy.
I'm going to do, and then do it.
Yeah, Kennedy.
No.
No?
No.
No, that's my opinion, but that's okay.
Yep.
But you know, the one thing about Trump had
Goldwater, I
backed
think,
up.
would have.
Yep. He was another one I had a lot of respect for, too.
Yeah. I wasn't born yet, but yeah, I actually read his book. I was actually going to become a Democrat until I read the Goldwater book.
Wasn't it a fascinating book?
It was. And all of a sudden, I went in, I was sitting in Barnes & Noble. I was about to go and help some Democrats get elected, because I have a lot of skills in terms of social media and, you know, other things. And I wanted to go and help with an election cycle. And I think the name of the book is The Heart of a Republican.
Yeah.
And I went and I started reading it, and I got to chapter 3, and I went, I'm not a Democrat. And then I heard Hillary Clinton say she was a Goldwater girl. I'm like, what were you on acid when you read the book? I mean,
Really?
come on.
Yeah.
Oh, did I just say? I'm sorry.
That's okay. You know.
You tell me I'm not supposed to insult people.
No.
Do I get a pass on Hillary?
Yeah, we pass on that. Yeah. I mean, no. What I'm saying is, somebody calls up and says, "Well, Joe Kilowatt did this, did that," and they have no facts behind it or whatever. That's what I'm saying. You know. But what intrigued me was Barry Goldwater's glasses. I don't know why.
What's that?
The dark glasses he used to wear them. For some reason.
You mean these?
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Only his was wider. Probably more expensive.
Probably.
You know. But that is what attracted me, because to me, there was a man that knew what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Like Ross Perot.
Yep. You know. It's
Do you know,
fun to go
Ross
back to
Perot actually violated the, what was it? They charged General Flynn with the Logan Act. You know, Ross Perot intentionally violated the Logan Act by sending his own helicopters in to rescue the hostages in Iran.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, okay.
That's a violation of the Logan Act right there.
Yeah. Don't they all violate the laws?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They all...
It's not a question whether you violate the laws. Everyone expects you to violate the laws.
Well,
It's a question. Do you know that on average there's a book called 3 Felonies a Day?
Yeah.
You commit 3 felonies a day. Whether you know it or not,
Yeah.
the average person commits 3 felonies a day. However, they only care when they want to put their boot on your neck.
Yeah, what I find interesting is running for president or running for mayor or running for governor, they can promise all this stuff, but is it also up to the state legislators and the state senators or the Congress or the U.S. Senate to allow what they want to have done?
You mean beside the executive orders we've seen this year that are like barely constitutional?
Yeah.
The Supreme Court in Washington or in Michigan goes out and tells the governor she can't do this, and she says, "Yes, I can." It's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, balance of power is gone.
There was a state representative from Michigan, senator, that said that any Trump person, it's okay if you hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that speech. So,
Uh-huh.
you know, I don't understand the hate.
I'll tell you what. Do you know that Representative Ocasio-Cortez went out and said, we're going to keep a list of everyone who helped Trump.
And they are.
And do you know what my immediate response to that was? I went to the Federal Elections Commission and I downloaded a list, which is public information, of everyone who contributed to a Democratic candidate in the last election cycle.
Wow.
Let's go, baby. Yeah. You want to put up that list? I will make it so that anyone going to check out whether or not you want to hire someone, let's go look at their political affiliations and how much money they donated to liberals.
Well,
because you know what? If they want to play games, they started. Now, I'm a libertarian. I'm a libertarian Republican, okay? And I won't start a fight. But once the fight starts,
you enjoy it.
I'm all in, baby.
Yeah. I went to a restaurant up in Hooksett, across from, I can't remember the name of it now, and because I wore my Trump hat and I wore a Trump T-shirt, they would not wait on me.
That's okay.
And that's what I said too. I said, "Why are you afraid?" And I said to her, "Why won't you rain on me?" "Oh, well, I was busy with other people." I go, "No, there's nobody in here." But that's okay, because you know what? I'll still keep my right to believe in Trump. And that worked out.
Well, let me ask you a question. There was a bakery that went out and said they were not going to make a cake for a gay couple.
Oh, was that in Illinois?
I believe it was in Colorado.
Oh, somewhere, yeah. That was wrong.
Well, what do you mean it was wrong? Does a business owner get to choose who they will and will not serve?
It's wrong, and it was wrong in doing that. But yeah, they have that. They do have that right.
Okay, well,
we're not going to take it away from them. But it's a catch can, you know.
It's so that goes both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, and then they go out of business because there was such a protest going on about it.
Probably.
You know.
Okay? Because people vote with their dollars.
Yeah.
Right? And I believe that accountability and people voting with their dollars is the way it's going to work.
Yep.
And so my favorite phrase of the year is get woke, go broke.
Then what?
Get woke,
Oh,
go
yeah.
broke.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen.
Well, there's a lot of people who are sick and tired of it. And so, you can have whatever opinion you want. People are going to vote with their dollars.
Oh, yeah. One of the big things I think you'll agree with, when they took the prayer out of schools and they're disrespecting our flag, that's when we started going downhill.
Yep.
Folks, you don't have to listen to me. You can call and tell me I'm full of bull crap or whatever you want them to think about it.
I'll listen to anybody who wants to have a dissenting opinion because I actually want to hear a good, solid argument.
Right. And I'm the same way, but can we do it without name calling?
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like with them?
Have you ever heard me call
No,
anyone
like,
names? I
when
mean,
I go
off the
on-
show.
Yeah. When I go on Facebook because I don't agree with all that stuff, I'm a bigot, I'm a racist, I'm a liar, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? The truth is prevailing. Do I believe that Trump's going to win? If they are honest, Trump will win.
In 2024.
I think he's going to win in 20.
It is going to be a challenging battle for him to win in 2020.
Yeah.
2020.
Pence going to carry that. Pence going to carry the deciding.
I know what a game plan is to make it work.
Yeah.
I know Mitch McConnell has said no. Because the deeper you get into knowing people, the more you know.
Yeah.
And Mitch McConnell has said no. And I suspect he has threatened people with committee assignments. I think that if Mitch McConnell pushes too hard, he could lose his leadership position in the Senate by Republicans.
Yeah.
So he better think very, very carefully about who he threatens.
Yeah.
And Pelosi is in a equally challenging position because she doesn't have enough votes to be the speaker unless she really concedes to make more friends than she's got.
I don't see her being reelected in the Senate either. I really don't.
Well,
Health-wise, I think she's going to have to leave.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will tell you one thing, okay? And you can, and I will happily make a $10 bet with you right now, okay? And that is that if 9 Democrats have COVID on the 6th of December, 6th of January, Donald Trump wins. Plain and simple.
Right. And that wouldn't be surprised if they do. We're heading, I'm going to tell you now, you think that there's a lot of blood and a lot of people hurt and not a lot of fires. Whoever wins, there's still going to be a lot of riots. And for what reason? Does anybody really know? No. Except for George Soros. It was instigating. I saw on Facebook, and I don't believe everything I read on Facebook either.
I actually heard there's a factual error on There was a factual error on Facebook this week.
Really?
Yeah. That's some bad news. I mean, I trust Facebook for everything.
Yeah, right. Just like I do, right? But they showed a picture of the homeless in San Francisco, and then some of the rioting protesters in their tents, right, side by side each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always, and still will always believe that if people want to have food, there's plenty of places they can go to get food, and it's up to them. I don't like seeing them walking up and down that medium there in between, like they have it on Queen City Ave, and I think Who is, if one of them people that are walking back and forth slips and get hit by a car, who's responsible? Is it the driver or is it the person on the mini?
The car.
I'm sorry?
The car.
You know, because, that's what I've always said. Oh my God, what if I'm going down the street and this guy falls off and it's slippery and he falls into the highway? Am I going to be responsible for this, man?
Yeah.
Because they say your car isn't under control or whatever,
The front of your car is responsible for anything that it hits because you're supposed to be in control of it.
Yeah. Well, that's like a guy that I know. He was homeless, and I saw him, and he went into an abandoned house to sleep, and he fell down a flight of stairs, and he sued and won.
Yep.
Because there was no side keep out, there was no protection around the stairs or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And my dog, actually, I had a dog that this guy would break into my house, my apartment, and my dog bit him, and they sued my insurance company because I didn't own the building.
Mm-hmm.
Criminals have more rights than you and I.
Yes.
It's almost like, okay, let's do a crime. We can get out, look at Snoopy Dog. He's a multi-millionaire now, or a millionaire close to it.
I'm not interested.
But I'm just saying, it's almost like I just to be honest and be poor. I'm not poor, but I have a clear conscience.
Mm-hmm.
And you're the same way.
Oh, absolutely.
Am I perfect? Only in my own eyes.
I actually had a time. I probably shouldn't mention this on television, but I was in the process of selling a company, and the people who were buying the company said, it appears as though your business partners don't have the proper documents signed. And because they didn't actually sign the proper documents or pay you properly, we can pay for your lawyers and get you the rest of the company, and you'll own it, and you'll make $1 million more dollars right off the top. Okay? I would make an extra $1 million. They're going to go to my partners. And they said, all you need to do is sign this form.
Did you?
No, of course not. Because I said if I sign that form, I'd be going back on my word.
To me,
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Like being put in the position where all you had to do is take out a pen and sign it, and it would be worth 7 figures. Most people would not resist that temptation.
No. But you have a conscience. And it goes against what you believe in.
Well, I would have had to shave my beard, and then I would have had to look at my face every day. And you know what? I couldn't look at my face every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah. That's like, and that's why I'm saying, I like working by myself. I have nobody to answer to. I've been invited to go to different psychic houses and do, go into offices and stuff. But I want to be my own boss. I choose the hours I want to do it. And I actually did it one time. I had a lady call me from Hawaii at 6 o'clock their time at night when it was midnight in our time. And I'm sitting there, I hope I can stay awake. And I didn't good, so,
Mm-hmm.
But I love the idea of what I do, and I don't have to advertise. And I'm sure you're the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, to me, like I see all these lawyers that advertise, Morgan & Morgan, or all these. To me, if they have to advertise, then they're not very good lawyers.
So I have a question for you.
All right, what's new?
Why is it that all of these psychics have a sign, call for an appointment? What do you think if there's a really good psychic, they would actually know when the appointments were coming in?
No. If you call, that's because...
It's my favorite psychic joke.
One of the questions I always get asked is, how come you never win the Powerball? Or how come you never win the Mega Bucks?
That's because you can't actually help yourself.
Right, no. And that's why I say call for an appointment, because I've had people call and then not show. Nothing irritates me any worse than that, but that's okay. It is what it is. But everybody said, do you realize that if if we had the power to win the Powerball or to win the Mega Bucks or whatever, how rich we could really be. And that's not what it's about. Would I like to win the Powerball? Of course. Would I like to win the Mega Bucks? Of course. You know, but it is what it is. You can't, you know, I will not read myself. And I will not read my son and my daughter-in-law and all that. I refuse to read close spells because I'm going to try to change it to the way it should be and not the way it is. You know, that's like with you. I actually see, oh, your wife is getting a raise or a promotion where she works.
It looks that way.
She's happy there.
She seems to be.
Do you want to move up in that area?
I can't get elected in Concord.
Yeah, you can, more so than down around here.
No.
You know. Hey, if a person that was as an inmate in a state prison can become a city council, you know that, right?
I didn't, but
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and they had to literally take him back there.
They do. Like, they actually have to take him to meetings.
Yep.
If he was actually elected as a state rep,
He did get elected.
Yep. Then an interesting thing happens, which is if someone pushes it according to the Constitution of New Hampshire, they can't force him to actually go back into jail for the duration of his term because constitutionally he is protected and his rights to represent his district do not belong to him. They belong to the elected officials in his district.
Oh, wow. You know, that's like, what's his name, Beard, the one up in Moultonborough where he put in the gun at a woman.
Wardbird.
He went to prison.
Yes, he did.
Is he still in prison?
No, he actually got out on a commutation. He did not get a pardon.
Yeah.
His
When he
sentence,
can't have guns.
That's right. He got commuted.
And what I don't understand is, I would have never allowed them to name a bill after me.
Well, it just so happens that because of the Ward Bird situation, we have a whole bunch of new and great laws that are about protecting yourself
Yep.
and protecting your rights.
Yeah, see, that woman, I don't see what he did wrong. But putting the gun at her and telling her, please leave the property. You know?
No,
You're defending your property. If I owned a gun, who knows? I say the same thing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I am going to tell you is that I do see you running. I wouldn't be surprised to see you running for U.S. Congress. But I don't see it in New Hampshire.
Well, I have to get a new dog first.
A new what?
A new dog.
Why a new dog?
Because this dog ate my teeth during COVID.
Oh, I hear all these. That's like the dog used to eat my test papers.
Well, no.
Well, the one thing about you is, see, no matter how they try to trip you up,
Yeah.
and you enjoyed people trying to do that. Let's be honest.
Oh, let's go.
You know, and one thing that you enjoyed that as far as if you were in, like I see something about Colorado or Wyoming or something like that area, and they're going to try to ask you all kinds of, they're going to try to trick you, they're going to try to trip you up and all that stuff, and you're going to be one step ahead of them because you know what? You're going to use your psychic ability to know what's going on with it. We all have psychic ability. We really do. And the one thing I do see you losing 30 pounds.
That's possible. I've already lost 100.
Yeah, you feel better?
Yes.
You know, I lost 57.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's how I felt.
But actually, my goal is 35. So, good call.
And it's actually do it natural.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to do, because the biggest problem with people that are on diets today is they try to ridge it down.
I'm gonna walk it off and switch from coffee to water. I've already gotten rid of all of the major bread in my life. I don't add sugar to much of anything. So now it's time to walk it off.
I love walking, especially at 7 o'clock in the morning. But where I walk, I'm not going to be able to walk across that
I
bridge.
need a hat, though. I don't have enough hair anymore.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Uh-huh.
Okay? As long as I keep it combed over. What I find funny on something like that is when you see these guys that are bald headed like that, they wear their hair over here, they bring it over this way. It's more obvious. My brother in law used to.
No, this is good news is this is all real.
Yep.
Okay?
You're not going to
There
go
ain't
for a
much
hair
of it.
transplant?
What's that?
You're not going to have a hair transplant?
No.
No. I'm happy to wear it.
That's vanity. Have you ever known me to do anything that resembled vain?
No, I used to. But then I said, you know what? I used to dye my
Then you
hair.
took your bar off, right?
Right. Then when I lost everything down, But then when I said, you know what? Because I used to dye my hair. I had many, many different colors. And then I started seeing it like this. I like who I am. I don't have to falsify myself anymore.
I actually did consider dyeing my hair once.
Yeah.
But I wanted to dye my beard gray a little bit
Yeah.
to add that distinguished older look when I was young to get people to take me more seriously.
Yeah. They take you serious now.
I know they do.
Yeah, because I've been a blonde, I've been a redhead, I've been a black hair, I've been you name it. And one time my daughter-in-law, for the heck of it, she was in hand school, and I said, okay. She gave me this perm that was not supposed to last. It was only supposed to be, as a set to let it. Oh my God, I look so old and so white, retired auntie, as they call them. Oh my God, it was the worst. And it wouldn't wash out. And I said, oh no. But that's how I learned, you know what? I don't have to be false anymore. Nor do I intend to be. And you're the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to try to pretend that I am something that I'm not.
It's easier to tell the truth than it is to remember all the lies you told.
Yeah. I love, and the one thing I like doing, and I like walking down the street and good morning, how are you, and stuff. But when there are kids outside in the schoolyard or whatever, I cross the street.
In the schoolyard?
Yeah, when they're outside or they get ready to go into school or whatever.
How come?
Because I still have flashbacks of the old days when if a child got hurt or whatever and you're gay, you automatically hurt a child or whatever. So you know what? I don't leave myself wide open. And I don't let people under 18 in my house without an adult. And so, please, you'd be amazed at how some of the things that they tell me when they come in the office, older women. One lady said she could show me how to be like a woman all over again. I go, it's people like you that make me happy the way I am, and that's okay. I just, the main thing that your grandfather on your mother's side, tell me that he wish he had the courage that you had to be so opinionated. Did you know your grandfather on your mother's side?
I did not.
Okay. Well, you are his prime example.
No, he doesn't know who I am.
Oh, yes, he does. Don't ever think a spirit don't know.
Uh-huh.
Okay, don't ever think that. Because you'll get a dream, a vision of him now to prove to you. Because you're from Missouri, seeing is believing. Okay. But I also will tell you that you
I know my cousins.
Yeah.
And they don't know that I know they're my cousins.
Yeah.
Because you know how that goes.
Yeah. One of the things I do know is that you died as a child, came back to life.
Okay.
Okay. You had died probably 6 different times.
I can only count 3.
Okay. Well, like I said, did you see the white light?
4.
4. Did you ever see the white light?
I have not.
I did.
Okay.
And I can remember I'm having a gallbladder problem, and I went into a really heavy seizure from it all. And I could vaguely hear that say, "What the hell is going on?"
Although I actually had my life flash before my eyes.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And it was impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
When I was done, I was like going, I accomplished that.
And that's what my mom, my real mother, says. We're bringing you back because your journey isn't over yet. I didn't want to come back. Mm-hmm. I was in such excruciating pain, and then I'm glad I came back. Obviously,
I fractured and broke my neck when I was 18. I did it again at 19. When I was 19, I had a car speeding down the highway. The guy fell asleep, knocked me off of the road and rolled my car over. But because I'd broken my neck the previous year, I refractured it. So yeah, like I've had a bunch of incidents, and
One thing I am going to tell you, and I am going to tell you very wholeheartedly, be very careful where you're walking in your yard,
okay,
especially with that in the snow and like that. Because when you get going, you get trucking, and your mind is always wandering. I got to go here, I got to blah blah blah. Because I'm going to tell you now, if you fall, you have a chance to fracture your hip. I'm going to tell you a 98% chance. So I would probably encourage you to carry a walking cane or a stick. And I also will tell you, your wife is really going to lose some weight. Okay? And you have a very excellent marriage.
I do.
You really, even though you two may disagree on things,
Not
and
very
you may
often.
not, but and you each have your own terms on way to do things. You have your mind, she has her mind. You may not always agree, but
No.
you do have it. Wouldn't it be boring if it was?
It would, but we have great conversation. I get up in the morning. She has to leave for work early, and so I get up to spend a half an hour with her every morning, almost every morning.
When I go for my walks, I let Scott know that I'm going out. I'll come home and I'll open my office door and there's a nice hot cup of coffee waiting for me. And my cat is laying on my massage table to make sure I come in there correctly, So when we count our blessings, I have a lot to be grateful for, And if these people choose, I can't do this, and I can't do that, that's their loss.
Gotta try.
You cannot give up. Like Ross's daughter is a poet, and she has Down syndrome, and you can see the glow of love that Ross has for her, and her poetry in her journal is so awesome, and I think it's incredible. We all have disabilities. Every single one of us. We all have what I call, every single one of us have autism. Okay? I would dare anybody to prove me wrong. Think about this. When you're in concentration, we'll say writing a book, or we'll say get ready to cook dinner, or get ready to debate on somebody, and someone interrupts you, you get all wicky-wacky, and then you have to refocus, right? Are you a carpenter?
No.
Okay. Me either.
I stay within my skill set.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, where other people can do all things. Scott designed our porch for the Christmas. Did a great job. And I'm going to take you put it on Facebook. Scott, there's a lot of things that Scott can do that maybe I'm too lazy or just don't want to do, but I can't do. So we even it out. My daughter-in-law can do many, many things. My son had his own band, self-taught guitar player. He also plays the keyboard, the drums, and all that. He gets sick, We can accomplish goals if we really try hard enough. But no matter how bad I try to paint a house, on the inside I got more on me than I did on the walls, and I got fired. I think that was very nice of him. And then one time I was doing the siding on a house for this company. They get that fire engine up to bring me down again.
I bet.
Needless to say, I didn't have that job either.
Although when I was young, I actually carried bricks for a carpenter.
Yeah.
They have a special tool for that.
Yeah.
And I didn't think anything of it. I came home sore, like, for the first month. But I'll tell you, at the end of the summer, my arms and my strength rock solid.
I worked on a farm for one whole summer.
What?
A farm?
I worked on a farm for like 8 years when I was growing up.
I was like 15, first job I had, 14, first job I had. I made $10 a week. But you know what? I got more with that $10 a week than people would. I learned how to milk cows. They told me to milk a cow, I had to pull the cow's tail 3 times. So
You had to pull the cow's tail 3 times before you figured it out?
Yeah, so guess who got a bath?
I bet you did.
And they tried to tell me that this was chocolate vanilla and this is what,
Oh, God.
And then I learned how to drive a truck.
Uh-huh.
I learned how to hay. I had so much.
Isn't haying amazing when you're like sitting there and they just fresh cut the hay? Yeah. And like if you don't have allergies, it's just the most amazing smell.
I tipped over a truck full of hay.
Oh. Then you got to pick it up again.
I had to pick it all up by myself.
Were they square? Were you picking up square or round?
No, they were just the pitchfork part.
Pitchfork. Okay.
Oh yeah, we didn't have that machinery that they had today.
Yeah.
but I felt so much better.
Did you ever get to press apples for apple cider?
No.
I'll tell you, my favorite thing is the first week of pressing apple cider, because you end up going home smelling like fresh apples, and it's bitter. And I love first week apple cider. And that happens just after my birthday. So I ask my wife every week to go get me 2 gallons of fresh, off the press, unpasteurized apple cider.
I can't stand apple cider.
Really?
Oh, maybe because I drink too much hard cider. But no, apple cider, and I just, And I had that beer before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is, right? It's just before the maple syrup, that comes off the tree, and you pour it through syrup. And my father's friend gave me a juice glass like this full, whoo, and they carried me out of there.
Mm-hmm.
It was very powerful.
Would that be considered beer, or would that be considered more like a...
Like a home brew.
Yeah.
But it was powerful,
Mm-hmm.
And I've
Because
had...
pure sugar.
Yeah, and I've had elderberry wine. My foster father, a lot of it, because he was a judge as well, and a lot of times they would pay him with products instead of money. And he had some elderberry wine, watermelon wine, potato wine. Well, my foster father was gone away for a week.
Potato wine?
And my foster father was gone away for a week, so we had to sample every one of them, Then I get on my bikini bathing suit. We go in the summertime when they
I
skiing
didn't
down the
need
hill.
that visual, but okay.
Yeah, but we would go sliding down the hill. You know where Colby College is in New London, New Hampshire? Okay, my foster father lived across the street. So we go, then say, your son's here again.
During the winter or during the summer?
Summer.
Okay.
No, not in winter. I was too cold.
I would have thought.
Yeah. But I did go snowshoeing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the activities across country.
Cross-country skiing is really, really a lot of fun.
Isn't it? Nobody does it today. Did you want to snowshoe?
I did not.
It was great. When you watched the people sinking down, walking on top. Of course, the window might be open in the house you're not supposed to go into. Well, this is when I was a kid, so, and stuff like that.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, long gone by.
That's right.
But, the only thing is that in Springfield, I was considered always, and then all my life, I've always been considered an outsider. But you know what? That's okay.
Not when you break in.
Well, that's true. But they didn't know. The only one ever time I got in trouble was with, and I'm glad I did, I broke into a hardware store with a couple of my friends. But nothing. I had a choice. Keep on doing what I'm doing, or go to school and get into nursing. So I chose, you got the ladder and go to school. I'm actually very grateful that I got caught. Who knows? I might have got in prison or whatever. So, no, my life wasn't perfect. I don't think yours was either.
Oh, hell no.
And I wouldn't want it to be.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how bored that would have been?
Absolutely. There's so much to learn.
Yeah. And I learn something new every day.
I learn the trouble I should stay out of every day, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And that I shouldn't start debates on Facebook.
I'm sorry?
I shouldn't start aggressive debates on Facebook. I should not post on things that are really trolling.
Oh, do it.
Oh, because I have Republicans and Democrats on my wall. You follow me on my wall.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the post I did the other day that said, congratulations, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? I'm a hardcore liberty Republican and think you should be congratulated. And all of a sudden, the teeth came out on both sides, and I ended up with like over 100 comments and people flaming at you.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just wild.
I told you to wake up and follow, actually. Mm-hmm. But I like doing that.
I was trolling.
I'll do a lot of it, and I'll make my comments and all that. There's a lady from Florida. Well, the counts were honest, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And my nephew, who I haven't seen.
Just for the record, the counts are never honest.
No.
I mean, in New Hampshire, they're closer. Bill Gardner says, there's no way to hack a pencil. He's absolutely right. We have paper ballots and we have pencils.
Yeah.
But if you have an electronic voting machine, I tried to buy one. I tried to buy a Dominion machine and was bidding on one on eBay the other day.
Did you?
Yep.
How'd you make out?
Didn't manage getting it, but I tried. If I had more money, like if I had unlimited amounts of money, I would have had that damn thing and I would have hacked it right in my living room, and I would have showed that with Trump and Biden on the ballot, Mickey Mouse could have won. And I would have done that
Mickey
too.
Mouse 1 year.
What's that?
I voted for Mickey Mouse 1 year.
Don't ever do that because it invalidates your ballot.
I know when there's no one on there that I like, so that's why I did it.
Well, you could always pull what libertarians do, right? You know what they say? None of the above.
Yeah.
Do you know that none of the above is always a candidate on a libertarian ballot?
Yeah, really?
Mm-hmm. There's also a guy in New Hampshire who actually changed his name to nobody, and then ran.
Yeah.
Yeah. His name is Rich Paul.
Yeah. Then, what was that show? Where it said none of the above. There was these two political people. That's a TV show, and he was running for mayor or something like that. It was a comedy, but yeah, and he kept saying none above, and he actually won. You know, and so Distinguished Gentleman. I'm gonna watch that tonight. You know, I like watching wrestling. I know it's fake, but I love watching it. But you know what? They talk about a mod setting. Look at a lot of the wrestlers, how the 4 or 5 people will beat on one guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, isn't that mod setting? It's like saying, "Okay, kids, this is what we do in wrestling. You can do it too."
I don't know.
You know, but that's
Hey, look, if you want to see mob violence, just go watch some Antifa video.
That's right.
I said, if you want to see some mob violence,
Yeah.
go watch some recent Antifa video.
Oh, I do that. And
I
just
told
can't
you.
believe.
I told you the last time I was here. You should go read Rules for Radicals. Did you go read it yet?
I
Saul
hadn't read it,
Alinsky.
Yep. You know,
It's the playbook.
Yep. You know, and the whole. By the way, you've got to finish your book.
Okay.
ASAP.
Okay.
I can see you going on a book tour.
Mm.
You can. I actually see you doing a lot of it on your own. You know, the wife will stay home, take care of the things for you. But I actually see you going on different book tours. And you have a passport?
Funny you should ask.
It's all up to date.
Funny you should ask.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There it is, baby.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on. I got to get one. You look like a convict in that one.
So that'll get me. That's a passport.
And that's all it counts.
Yep.
Now, I have to go to the post office and get the paperwork, right?
Yeah, and you do, and it's a pain. But if you have an option, so get the plastic and the paper. Okay, this plastic allows you to go to Canada and to Mexico and any.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Don Bold.
Hi, Don. Yeah, so come on in, Don.
Well, I don't want to interrupt. I'm
No, no,
just
come on in.
saying hello. Yeah. I'm gonna go say hi to Norm.
Tell them to come in.
I think we're
Yeah,
almost out
Gary?
of time there, man.
Huh?
Hey, sir, how you doing?
Yeah, you got 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
How are you doing? I'm sorry
I'm
to.
well.
Good. I'm
Are
sorry
you
that.
live?
We
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
You are, huh? Well,
we are-
Hello, everybody.
Yeah,
We are-
I was very disappointed in the results.
Well, you know,
Don't give up. Run
we're
again.
not giving up.
All right, run again.
We're running again.
And seriously?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, folks, we have who got shafted, Don Baldick, who ran for state senate. I mean, U.S. Senate.
US Senate.
And my hat is off to you. I want you to win.
Thank
and
you.
we're going to keep it. It was kind of a setup as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
You know, because you, by all means, should have
I
won.
don't think we'll run into the same issues. People of New Hampshire's awareness has been elevated. People were very upset
Yeah.
that their local boy didn't get a fair shot at
No.
the election.
I don't understand. You came from what, New Jersey?
Colorado.
Colorado.
Pennsylvania before that.
And Mayberry should have, you know, I was hurt that I was disappointed at him not winning as well.
Yes, well,
And
we
the
wanted
two
a
that-
Republican to win, right?
Right. And the two that ran against you, that, you know, the guy who ran the Senate, U.S. Senator from Republican,
Mm-hmm.
would not acknowledge me to come on my show.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
And the guy who ran against Mayberry would not acknowledge me.
Really?
Yeah. That's why they lost.
Well, Norm, they lost out on a great opportunity to be on your community corner.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm
Well,
glad
I-
you're in my corner.
Oh, you definitely are, because now that I know you're going to be running, I'll be Facebooking you to get your butt in here.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
You have to wear short shorts and a T-shirt.
Short shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a new image.
New image.
No Daisy Dukes, though, right?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Daisy Dukes. I have a friend of mine, I'm gay, but he's straight, and we talk about stuff like that all the time, but my son actually is not into politics, but he was upset that you did not win.
Yeah. Well.
And we were upset that he didn't win.
I'm George Lambert. I ran for state senate, and I was not on your team.
Oh well.
Maybe next time.
Hopefully, I can win you over the next time. Earn your vote.
I committed too early.
Yeah.
I committed to Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
And then I had a meeting with Bill O'Brien and
Yeah.
said, who's it going to be? And
Yeah.
he told me it was going to
Ladies
be
and gentlemen, we
Courtney.
have
And so
a candidate.
I'd made a commitment. And when you're in politics in the state,
Yeah.
okay,
Like puppy,
all
puppy.
you have is your word.
Yeah.
And if you back out,
Yeah.
and so never commit early, never commit often.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with retired General
Yeah.
Don Baldwin, who ran for U.S. Senate. As far as I'm concerned, he should have won. But now, folks, we're going to encourage him to win again, to run. Same way with George Lambert,
Yeah.
by throwing in my side, but I love him dearly as a friend,
Yeah.
to run. I encourage Matt Mayberry to run.
Yeah.
We've got to get the Republicans back in there. This is garbage that's going on now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question that you're going to probably want to dodge?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Excellent. Do you believe that the other general got a fair shake?
Who's the other?
No. Oh my God! I would never forget this. The former defense secretary.
Oh, General Mattis.
No, General. Represented by Sidney Powell, who just got pardoned the other day.
Oh, okay. The guy that got, okay. What's the thing that got pound? Okay, what's the Trump just gave him a pardon.
Oh, you mean
General Flynn.
General Mike Flynn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably know the guy.
I know him very well. We served in combat in 2 different times in Afghanistan.
Did he
together.
get treated unfairly?
Yes, he got treated unfairly.
What are we gonna do about it?
Well, we gotta educate ourselves and be aware. And when this kind of stuff happens, we just can't sit back. We gotta mobilize and we gotta come forward. We can't let the socialists, the Democrats, the people that are tearing down America, that are throwing good people under the bus. And we didn't do that well enough for General Flynn.
Do you trust the judiciary?
Do I trust the judiciary? I am suspect of everybody at this point. Everybody in Washington, D.C., I am very suspect of, right? And you can see their actions. They're not consistent all the time with the Constitution.
Folks,
And they're not doing the right thing.
look over that way. Look at the
Oh,
camera.
look that way.
Hello.
Listen, I believe there's a lot of delegation of legislative authority, and I believe that the judiciary is legislating from the bench, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and that's make decisions based off of the Constitution, right?
Me too.
And that's a huge problem. And it leaves the executive branch, the president in particular, with no other option than to do and make certain things happen for the good of the country, for the good of our economy, for the good of for fiscal responsibility, for the safety and security of Americans. And so I'm very, very concerned. And I think if you're an incumbent right now, it is going to be a bloodbath for you in 2020 in Washington, D.C. Because
In 2022.
I mean in 2022, yes. Because in 2020, you got set up, the socialists got set up to take their agenda forward into 2022. And that is not going to look good. It can't look good. I am, sick and tired of people that are promoting socialist and communist ideas when I went to more than 3/4 of the countries of the world and specifically sent there because of what socialists, communists, and dictators did to their own people. And It is abhorrent what goes on. And we cannot allow that to happen to America. And Mike Flynn is an example of somebody who gets thrown under the bus at the expense of the establishment. And that's wrong.
Well-
and you know, the president timed it out and did what he could and did it well, but unfortunately, it did a lot of damage to Mike Flynn, not only financially, but, you know, to him personally, to his family. You know, General Flynn did what he did because they were going to go after his son. They were going to go after his family. And so he threw himself on the grenade for his family. That's admirable, because at the end of the day, we got God, we got family, we got community, and we got country. And that's it.
Right.
And we need to stand strong on that. And we have a Declaration of Independence and a Constitution that lays out how to do that.
Can I make one?
Yes, sir.
If you ever have a chance,
Mm-hmm.
I gave a talk on administrative agencies
Mm-hmm.
and administrative agency control
Yep.
in Washington, D.C. when I was looking to run for governor in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever have a chance, it's a little over an hour long. If you want to understand, if you're really going to run for Congress,
Mhm.
and you really want to know why term limits don't matter and administrative agencies run all over our constitutional powers, check it out.
I will. How do I do
What
that?
did they do
How
with
do I
Fitz-
find it?
Look what they did with Fitzpatrick, was it? Who is now judge. Trump's appointed to be judge. No, what's his name?
You mean Gorsuch?
No, the other one, Seth MacKay. He just became the
Yeah. I know who you're talking about, and I think we're having name amnesia here
Oh,
tonight,
my God,
right?
it's so hard. We've been
when they
talking
started
for 2
slamming,
hours.
Yeah.
when they slamming his family,
His wife, his father, you know, everybody. I mean, you know, look at you know, Justice Barrett should have been, you know, 100 senators voting for her. 100 senators should have voted for her, right? But you know, that's not how it plays out. That, you know, that woman was unbelievable in her testimony. It was incredible, and she did our country proud. She did her alma mater proud. She did her gender proud. I mean, she shined in all her family. Everything about
look what
her,
she
right?
did. I mean,
and look what they did.
And they had to bring her children, and so much to adopted them. You know.
Right.
Well, General, I want to thank you for making this quick visit.
Yep, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah,
I
we
want
gotta
to
be
tell him
leaving.
the name of my video before we go.
Yes, please.
Hurry up, you gotta make it quick.
I wanna
Hurry
look it
up.
up.
1 minute.
It's called George Lambert, the Fourth Branch of Government. And it's
George Lambert, the fourth branch of government.
And it's
Okay,
on administrative
30 seconds.
agencies and the
Got
way
it.
that they actually steal
Okay.
power.
God
Have a
bless
great
you
day.
both.
All too,
Thank you
I'm
very
going to be
much.
Facebooking
Merry
you to come on.
Christmas.
You too.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye
Thank
now.
you, George. Appreciate it. Nice meeting
We'll
you.
hook up.
George,
All right.
we'll get you back on January 20th.
Yes, we're
Coming
going
on
to talk
my
about
friend,
the brand new president.
Yep. And we already know who he is, but that's okay. And everybody out there, have a good week.
Happy
Stay safe.
holidays.
Don't go out in the next weather. Drive careful. Don't go out tomorrow. Stay home unless you really have to.
Absolutely.
And may
We
the
have a
spirit
big
of all the
snowstorm.
angels bless all of you.
We have a
Bye-bye
big
now.
snowstorm coming. Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.